That's my cue. Nobody sees that, but now they're going to hear about it because I said about it. So are you ready to do this?
Yep.
I can talk about anything else before? Not talking about your once there was this girl who had purple spots all over her body.
I got purple on my hands. Tie-dyed.
I didn't. Your cheer team did.
I hate having a burnt scalp. It's so itchy, but I can't,
Oh no, summertime problems. Anyway, who are you?
I'm Phoenix.
I'm Will.
And we're here to bring on the questions.
That's it. And the links are at
linktree.com/BOTQS.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube's, TikTok's, merch store.
Yay!
Already bored of the merch store.
Oh, I'm just sleepy.
I'm working on a new thing. It's going to be the cryptids on a flag because America's 250th birthday is coming up. I know, right? I already put one, so maybe I'll put this link in amongst our links too. So I created designs as 3D printable designs. And I created a cults3d.com account, and people have been buying my 3D digital, just straight up digital designs to be printed in 3D. So maybe I'll share that link. But I don't know if you can find it. Cults3d.com, and then search for Bigfoot ornament. It's Bigfoot in a circle with some snowflakes around him. That's one of the things I made. And there's one of the Albatwitch, Mothman, Wendigo, and a person requested that I had the Albatwitch and I had Wendigo, but I didn't have a snowflake ornament like that for Bigfoot, Mothman, and Werewolf. This person requested here at the end of May. Yeah, I could do that. I don't know why I wanted these ornament ones in May, but sure, why not?
Didn't someone also request a banshee? Or was that?
No, I just made that one. That one's not an ornament yet. Or snowflake stuff. But I have the designs made for all the cryptids I made in a wavy flag design. So they could go... It's a silhouette design, so it's just one color. So it could go on a shirt, or it could be turned into a 3D thing.
You should put that on a tapestry.
A tapestry?
Yeah, so people could hang it up.
Like all of them? Or one on a flag as a single tapestry? Like
you know those like pink American flags with like a character on it or like a celebrity on it?
I don't know. Pink one?
Yeah. Like it's the flag is all pink, but it has like a picture of a celebrity or like a character on it.
So the stars and stripes instead of the blue background of the stars and the red stripes, all that stuff's pink.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Okay. You have to show me a thing.
Me.
And then a celebrity on them?
Yeah.
Like Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Hashtag Jason Momoa. At Jason Momoa. Think he checks his Instagram?
Probably.
Jason Momoa, do you want a flag of... Oh, you would probably love a flag of Lobo. Okay, that's...
Like just...
Really?
Just a penis?
People like that crap?
Yeah.
That's hideous.
I wouldn't want a pink one, but...
It's Britney Spears on a pink flag. Like, she's full color, photorealistic, just on a flag with pink stars and stripes.
Yeah. Like,
what's wrong with people?
But hey, I'm not hating. I would not mind a Loch Ness Monster American flag tapestry.
Do you want it in, like, straight? Funny thing is, Loch Ness Monster is from Scotland, first of all. But put it on a flag, which I did. It's fine. Would you want a full color Loch Ness Monster or a silhouette of a Loch Ness Monster?
I think the silhouette looks good. So
On
like
a full color flag, standard American flag colors, or single color.
probably single color, but like customizable. Like the silhouette stays black, but the background is like a customizable single color. You know?
I mean, black or blue, or all red, something like that.
Yeah.
But not like this. Not a cutout of what the fluff. Not a cutout of the cryptid.
Like this would be black, but then this, the outside would be a solid color, but like still the American flag design. I think
Okay.
people would like that.
Cool. Let's design that together. We'll drop it on ye old merch store. But that's not what this episode is about. We've gone far enough. So, Miss Phoenix, what question are we bringing in this episode?
What are mass hysterias?
Oh, yeah. So we're gonna talk about what they are and throw out some examples of mass hysterias in history, and then later on we'll do episodes that break down those particular certain mass hysterias that we will just briefly talk about. All right, let's get into it. Mass psychogenic illness, MPI, historically designated as mass hysteria, epidemic hysteria, or mass sociogenic illness, is a complex socio-psychological phenomenon wherein a cohesive group of individuals collectively manifest similar physical symptoms lacking in organic, environmental, or toxicological etiology. Etiology is a scientific study of the causes, origins, or reasons behind a disease or condition. In standard psychiatric nomenclature, MPI is subsumed under the category of somatoform disorders and is subcategorized as a conversion disorder. Historically termed hysterical neurosis, conversion type, somatoform disorders are mental health conditions where a person experiences a real physical symptoms such as pain, fatigue, or digestive issues that cannot be fully explained by an underlying medical condition. It's almost like something was triggered and it was a bad placebo.
Yeah. One, I don't know which show it was on, but I know that there was one show I saw a clip of, and they were all on a plane. There was one guy that was sick, and so other people started getting sick, but it was basically just monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah, I have no doubt there are plenty of people. I know there are plenty of people that it's not hypochondriac. It's just, I don't know.
You think it's that you're going to contract that sickness because other people are also getting that sickness, and so your brain automatically goes,
Yep.
"Oh, I have a disease in me. now I'm sick.
Yep.
So your body acts like it's sick, but it's not.
But you show all the symptoms of the sickness, but further testing shows that you're not actually carrying whatever infection.
Yeah. Just a weird monkey see, monkey do placebo.
Brain stuff.
Psychology. The underlying mechanism of MPI involves the somatic conversion of intense, shared psychological stress or perceived threats into physiological symptoms. Rather than a conscious simulation of illness, the somatic complaints are exhibited unconsciously, propagating rapidly through a group via visual and auditory pathways. This, quote, line of sight social contagion allows symptoms to spread from an index case to peers through direct observation and subconscious mimicry. To separate the diverse clinical presentations of this condition, the British psychiatrist Simon Wesley established a binary taxonomy in 1987. This framework distinguishes between mass anxiety hysteria and mass motor hysteria, each possessing distinct clinical profiles, durations, and triggers.
To establish a presumptive clinical diagnosis of mass sociogenic illness during active field investigations, epidemiologists utilize a set of 8 distinct clinical indicators, and we will list those here. So, number 1 is a complete absence of a plausible organic toxicological or biological basis.
Number 2, symptoms are transient, medically benign, and resolve without permanent physiological damage.
Number 3, characterized by rapid onset of symptoms and subsequent rapid recovery.
Number 4, outbreaks occur within a segregated, highly cohesive, or confined group.
Number 5, presence of extraordinary underlying psychological anxiety or systemic social stress.
Number 6, transmission of symptoms is actively mediated via sight, sound, or oral communication.
Number 7, pattern of spread moves sequentially down the age scale, starting with higher status individuals.
Number 8,
preponderance
of female participants among the affected cohort.
The etymological lineage of, quote, hysteria originates from the ancient Greek word hystera, meaning womb or uterus. For over 4 millennia, the diagnosis was tied to female anatomy, serving as a catch-all category for various unexplained physical and psychological afflictions in women. The oldest recorded medical references are found in the Egyptian Kahun papyrus, circa 1990 BCE. 1990 BCE? Yeah. Which attributed abnormal movements, choking, paralysis, and mutism in women to a, quote, wandering uterus. Fascinating. Ancient Egyptian physicians believed the uterus was mobile, independent organ that could displace itself and migrate throughout the body.
That just shows how little they knew about women's bodies.
Yes.
And we still don't know that much.
Right. And human physiology and total. Like, why would an organ wander throughout your body?
Like, today my uterus is in its normal place, and tomorrow my uterus is just going to be up next to my lung. Like, just closed around my heart, I guess.
Was that the only organ that they assumed wandered around?
Probably. Because it's a female organ.
Probably. Females.
I was going to ask, why is it specifically female participants among, like
cohorts?
Number 8?
Probably because I'm going to guess that during the various mass psychogenic issues or events, that was recorded, whoever was in charge of said event or recording of the event was more inclined to think males were less of a problem.
Women are always viewed as dramatic.
That's why they weren't allowed to vote for a while.
That's why they weren't allowed to do much of anything.
Right. There was a period in time where inanimate objects had more freedom than women.
Yeah. Animals had more freedom than women.
Right. That was a problem.
It's still slightly a problem today.
Yeah, it is. And it shouldn't be.
No.
And be the change you want to see in the world. If you want equal rights for everyone, treat everyone equally. It's just that easy, in my opinion, but some people can't get it through their thick heads.
And I don't want to go into like a dystopian world where you have to bring others down because the people like shoot, what is it? I forget what it's called. But there's this one dystopian story
Okay.
that like people had to have handicaps because like if you were smarter than others then you would have like a little earpiece that would make you forget what you were thinking about every so often.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know
And
what that one
if
is.
you were like stronger then you would have to like carry like a bunch of weight, and if you were prettier you had to like wear stuff to mask that. And so everyone was equal, but not really.
I don't know what story that is.
I forget what it is, and we learned about it this year.
But yeah, it's still an issue with can a woman do that job kind of mentality.
Yeah.
And I don't know, we can't get into that.
Not right
It's
now.
it's very deeply political and personal ethics. Well, not personal ethics. It should be global ethics that everybody should be treated with a fair shot.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Man or woman, we're all human. Anyways, the classic Greek medical corpus, particularly the writings of Hippocrates, 460 to 377 BCE, and Plato, 429 to 347 BCE, adopted and expanded this anatomical theory. Hippocrates formally introduced the term, quote, hysteria in his writing, describing the condition as hysteric
Pnyx?
Suffocation of the womb.
Or Nyx. It might be Nyx.
Probably.
But the Greeks weren't, I don't think they were free on silent letters. So it's probably Pnyx.
Probably. I don't know. But suffocation of the womb.
Pnix. Anyway.
According to the Hippocratic framework, a dry, barren uterus would migrate upward toward the throat in search of moisture, compressing internal organs and causing convulsions, choking, and emotional
volatility. Read that again, because it's so absurd.
According to the Hippocratic framework, a dry, barren uterus would migrate upward toward the throat in search of moisture, compressing internal organs and causing convulsions, choking, and emotional volatility.
What the?
So if you haven't had a kid, your uterus is walking up to your throat because apparently
Just-
it's barren and dry.
I know this was 2,300 years ago, but it seems it's so absurd.
It's so crazy. It's so actually dumb that it's kind of funny.
Right. It's at that level of absurdity.
It's who thought of that? Who was thinking
Why
this?
was that even a thought that
Like,
the organs would wander around? I'm sure they had done autopsies, cut open the body to see what was going on. By that time, Hippocrates was a brilliant human being. But to say, like, at any point, did they ever find a body where the uterus is somewhere else? Not freaking likely.
if a uterus is in a throat, I would think someone swallowed someone else's uterus and choked on that.
See, there's your problem. Right there. Then there would be two uteri in there. Uteruses?
Uteri.
Is it?
I think so.
It's a mess. And you're not spitting out babies.
And no. Especially if you're a young female who can't have children yet.
Read that last line. What are the recommended therapies?
Recommended therapies included marriage, pregnancy, and the application of foul or aromatic herbs to repel the displaced organ downward or attract it back to its pelvic origin.
Even more? You didn't know it could get more absurd. That's something. That's fantastic.
I know it's not fantastic.
Why? That's amazing.
It's horrific.
There had to be people that were around and were like, no. Scribble that out of your scroll, stupid.
You might want to ball that one up. That's a trash idea.
Greek mythology also introduced psychological factors. The Argonaut Melampus cured the madness of the daughters of Proteus using hellebore, postulating that their insanity stemmed from a uterus poisoned with, quote, venomous humors, due to a lack of orgasms. Okay? This concept of humorism, vital bodily fluids comprising blood, phlegm, yellow bile, and black bile, influenced Galen, 129 to 216 C, who recognized that hysteria could occur in men. Oh, thanks, Galen. Galen attributed male hysteria to sexual abstinence, causing sperm retention, fluid imbalance, and an excess of black bile, which required hellebore-induced purging. Serenus of Ephesus, active in the 1st century, was the first to challenge the wandering womb theory, arguing that the uterus remained anatomically fixed.
Thank you, Ephesus.
Serenus of Ephesus.
Oh, Serenus of Ephesus.
Maybe it's Sorenus, not Soranus. What is happening right here? The whole paragraph.
It's like Uranus, but sore. Soranus.
Yep. Yep. That's what happens when you eat too many spicy things.
Yeah.
The next morning.
Or you don't poop for a long time and then you poop again.
Soranus of Ephesus. Didn't know there was going to be a poop joke in there, did you?
There's butt and poop jokes in here.
That whole paragraph is crazy.
Insane. I don't even know where to begin.
No, because Galen had a good idea. Like, yeah, males could be hysterical too, but it's because they have it, you know. And the women who haven't are crazy too. So what happens when you put two crazies together? More crazy things.
So everyone just needs to get laid.
Wow. Okay. Hot take. Mic drop. Thanks, everyone. Question, bro.
So basically, what they're saying, you need to get laid.
That was Galen's idea, but Soranus had different ideas.
Yeah.
Soranus was onto something.
Yeah, I like Soranus.
Okay.
I don't want my anus to be sore, but I like Soranus of Ephesus. I'm gonna move on now.
We should move on.
With the rise of Christianity whoa, I had a G in there. With the rise of Christianity in the Middle Ages, the paradigm shifted from a naturalistic somatic model to a spiritual demonological framework. Augustine of Hippo, 354 to 430 CE, and subsequent medieval theologians rebranded hysterical fits as physical manifestations of demonic possession, sin, and witchcraft.
Ah, we made it.
We made it to almost the witch trials.
Yeah.
So, female physical and theological inferiority became a core tenet of medieval medicine. Though female doctor
Hildegard
of Benign
Bingen?
Benjamin?
Franklin.
That guy was later.
Hundos. Yeah,
Bingen.
Hildegard of Bingen.
Hildegard of Bingen. 1098 to 1179 CE. Dang, that feels like 100 years. Almost.
It was real close to 100, yeah.
Now I need to figure that out.
Well, it was 9,
11,
10. $82.
Oh, bro. I typed in 85 or 95.
82?
81.
Oh, yeah. What was I thinking? 81.
Wow. 81 years old.
Yeah. So what's all that business about shorter lifespans 1,000 years ago? No. They took an average.
Short
Like
children.
we talked about it in a previous episode. Children would die sooner, but if they can get past a certain age, then they would live longer.
Yeah. Anyways, Hildegard of Benign attempted to combine science and faith by connecting hysteria to original sin, asserting that both sexes could suffer from the condition.
Oh, yes.
Okay, you're on to more, but I don't think it's because of witchcraft. But that's all you had back then.
Right.
So, I'll forgive you.
Original sin. So you're practicing witchcraft because you were born with sin. Demons, burn her!
Jersey Devil.
What?
What? Whoa. Born a devil.
Yeah, well, the mom cursed the Jersey Devil.
Because he was the 13th child.
And she was done.
Yes, she was. I would be done. I would be done by 5. The max amount of kids I want to have, 2. But if I had to, then I would be fine with like 4. But 5, I would have been like, oh, that's too bad. That's too bad.
And then suddenly you were with the septuplets.
Yeah.
Yeah?
No.
The publication of the Malleus Maleficarum, the Hammer of the Witches, in 1486 by Heinrich Kramer and Jacob Sprenger, established a diagnostic manual for identifying witchcraft. This text argued that women were highly susceptible to demonic temptation, pointing to convulsive fits, contortions, and sensory loss as proof of diabolical pacts. During this period, hysterical individuals frequently became both accusers and confessors, weaving tales of demonic rituals under torture or duress. This demonological framework incubated motor hysteria in highly disciplined, isolated medieval convents between the 15th and 19th centuries. Forced into regimented lives of poverty and chastity by their families, young nuns exhibited behaviors widely attributed to possession. These outbreaks emerged under the strictest administrators, where minor transgressions were punished with flogging and incarceration.
The affected nuns engaged in lewd behaviors, such as exposing their genitalia, rubbing their private parts, and thrusting their hips to simulate intercourse, while screaming blasphemies and using foul language.
Silence is telling. It's crazy. But that was the only way that they felt they could act out. It was their outlet for being in such conditions under the thumb of whatever bishops or some man.
Yeah.
Exorcisms? Got some thoughts?
I'm just
Trying to unpack that?
still in shock.
Yeah. Was recorded as a mass hysteria.
Yeah.
Or various mass hysterias.
Yeah. That's a lot.
It is.
Exorcisms were frequently performed, and disliked individuals were accused of casting spells, leading to trials and executions. Epidemiological accounts record major convent outbreaks in Lyons, 1526, Wortet, 1550, Kintorp, 1552, Cologne and Flanders, Ned Flanders, 1560, Oderheim, 1577, Mons, 1585, Milan, 1590, Aix, 1609,
Lyle?
1613, Madrid, 1628, Chinon, 1640, Louviers,
Sure.
1642,
Auxon?
Auxonne, 1662, at Toulouse,
Toulouse? Yeah.
Toulouse, 1681, and as recently as 1880 at an Ohio convent in the United States. Are all of those, except for Ohio, in somewhere in Europe?
I think so. Yeah, like Madrid is Spain. Louviers would be France.
So that makes sense for their weird names.
Yeah.
Oderheim?
That's probably
German, I'm guessing.
Probably German. Cologne, I think, is German.
Yeah, and Flanders.
Mm-hmm.
Why Flanders?
Why not?
Kintorp? Who chose that?
It seems like it was spread across Europe. So Spain, France, Germany.
So where they were most
Switzerland, maybe?
Christian religious.
Right. It was heavily Christian. And it's almost like the women didn't like to be treated like that, so they were acting out. Crazy.
What a crazy theory. Other instances included a French convent where nuns collectively began to meow like cats for hours each day until threatened with beatings by soldiers, and German, Italian, and Dutch convents in the 1400s where nuns compulsively bit their companions.
Yeah, that's going to be one we get into some detail about at some point. The meowing nuns hysteria.
I think I've heard of that one, but it's still crazy to think about.
They were acting out because of the conditions that they were forced to live in.
Yeah. But the biting their companions one is...
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
That one's a little weird. I think they were just a little cuckoo, to put it.
Yes.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Puffs.
They were prisoners, but they weren't prisoners. And I would imagine the greater punishment would be like exile, where they would just live on the streets. So it was either be a nun under those conditions,
Or die on the streets.
Or die on the streets, right? Or somewhere else, and not in a village or a town or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was not good. It was just they didn't treat them well at all. During the 16th and 17th centuries, the medical community began to detach hysteria from uterine motility. Oh, do tell. Charles Lepoix and Thomas Willis, 1621 to 1675, argued that hysterical disorders, which Willis classified as, quote, convulsive distempers, were neuropathological in origin. Willis hypothesized that these fits were caused by an excess of, quote, animal spirits. Oh, great. Carried by the nerves, shifting the etiology from the pelvis to the brain and opening the door to male diagnoses of the condition. Thomas Sydenham, 1624 to 1689, furthered this transition into his epistolary dissertation on the hysterical affections, stating that hysteria was the most common of all diseases afflicting both men and women, the civilized and wealthy patients being most vulnerable. Sydenham defined hysteria as a highly deceptive disease that mimicked organic illnesses, hiding the patient's underlying suffering.
So we got someone who actually knows what they're talking about.
Until they tell them that they are afflicted by animal spirits, also.
Yes, that is that's just that, and that is
just another sign of their version of medical diagnosis.
What they had in their time.
Yeah.
So, but I like Sydenham.
Right.
Because he knows what he's talking about.
Seems so.
He's the one who knows most what he's talking about. In 1769, William Cullen published synopsis
Nosology
Methodicae.
Methodicae? Anyway.
It's a mouthful. Classifying hysteria within the newly coined category of neurosis, diseases resulting from nervous system malfunction involving altered sensibility and motion. Joseph Rollin, 1748, described hysteria as a, quote, vaporous ailment, affection vaporous. Huh?
Sure.
Spread through air pollution in large cities, though he maintained that women were predisposed due to their lazy and irritable nature.
Oh, sure. Hot take.
Blazing hot take. In my mind, it is. Francois.
Go shoe a horse, woman. You won't be so crazy.
What?
Give them something to do. Lazy and irritable nature. Was it because they were bored?
Probably.
They could do tasks. Send them out there to go shoe a horse. Not like, shoe, get out of here, horse.
No,
but
I know. Put the shoe on the horse.
Yes.
Tie their laces for them.
Yeah, basically.
Francois Boissier de Savoyes de LaCroix. Holy freaking.
Yep.
Also, LaCroix is a drink.
So, Frank Boosie of Savage of LaCroix.
Frank Bussy de Savage de LaCroix.
Took a turn right there. Sorry, I tried.
You said what you said, and I immediately thought of Bussy.
Yep, you did.
Anyways, Francois Bossier de Savages de Lacroix described the condition as emotional instability, listing symptoms like cold extremities, tears, laughter, yawning, stretching, and abundant clear urine.
Can't have that.
So, I think the clear urine is just extra hydration or electrolytes.
It is enough hydration. That's what you want.
Well, abundant clear urine, that's...
Too clear? How can you... What?
You don't want your urine to just be clear.
You want it to be cloudy, too?
No, that's even worse.
A little red?
That's also even worse. Like a light yellow is good.
So they were too hydrated.
Too much water. But also
Too much laughter. Too much yawning.
Also, how are people not allowed to stretch anymore? Too much stretching? What?
What are you guys doing? We don't got time to stretch.
I think people are just either super depressed, need to stretch because they don't stretch enough, are super happy because they're laughing, or they're extremely tired because they're yawning. I don't know about the cold extremities though.
I think it was a total breakdown of the human anatomy because of the stressful conditions that they were in. So they couldn't do anything about their livelihood. So it was like, it is what it is. Laugh it off. Ha 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 ha. But internally, you're struggling. And if you're struggling, you're losing sleep and you're stressed out over the conditions, and then you're yawning because you're totally exhausted. It was just a massive combination of things to create a total system malfunction.
One big breakdown.
Yeah.
Just like, get a therapist.
Right. 1769. I probably wouldn't go see William Cullen.
No, I'd go see
Sydenham.
Or Soranus.
He was a while before that. But yeah.
Yeah. I would see Sydenham or Soranus. Franz Anton Mesmer utilized mesmerism, an alleged psychosomatic therapy acting on animal magnetism, to treat hysterical patients in 18th century Europe.
You want to go see that therapist?
So therapy dog?
Mesmerism. I don't. It was like more like abstraction.
So therapy dog.
Yeah, kind of, I guess.
But probably not dog. Probably goat.
Therapy goat.
Or horse.
Goat yoga.
Yeah.
Probably not in 1769, though.
Probably not. They probably had worms back then.
Goats?
Yeah.
Well, as long as it wasn't cats with fleas. Or rats with fleas. Any of them. Mammals.
Rats with fleas brought the black plague.
Yeah, also a problem. That would
Big
cause people
problem.
to be a mess.
Came from Mongols.
Mongolia?
Yeah. The Mongols had it first, and then they were battling Italians for some country.
Genghis Khan and all his fellas?
I don't know.
They're Mongolian.
Well, yeah, but I don't know if it was that time.
Interesting.
But they were battling, and then some Italians escaped from the battle during the middle of the night. But brats were along, and they had already contracted the disease from the Mongols launching dead bodies who died from the Black Plague. They launched it over to the Italians to affect them.
Poison damage.
Yeah. And so Italians brought it over to Europe, and it just kept spreading. Because there was also fleas and rats.
Fascinating. We should do an episode on the Black Plague and the origin story.
Black Plague / bubonic plague.
Yeah,
we should also do one on the doctors. Did you know that they wore this pointy mask because they thought it was the cause of the plague was like bad smell, and so they would like stick flowers and good smelling things in their masks to not contract plague?
Didn't work.
No.
Plague doctors, those things are scary as fluff.
They're scary but cool.
Yep. Yeah, we should get into that sometime. In 1859, Paul Briquet published his Traité clinique et thérapeutique de la hystérie. I totally messed that up, and it's a bunch of like not hyphens, a bunch of whatever the tick is above the letter. What do you call those? I don't know what they're called.
No clue.
But there's a bunch of them in there, and it's all French, and I messed it up. Anyway, presenting data from 430 patients collected over 10 years, Briquet officially rejected uterine theories, defining hysteria as a dynamic neurosis of the brain and establishing Briquet syndrome, later termed somatization disorder. During the mid-19th century, Silas Weir Mitchell promoted the highly restrictive, quote, rest cure as a treatment for female hysteria. Concurrently, the study of hysteria crystallized at the Salpêtrière Hospital in Paris under Jean-Martin Charcot, 1825 to 1893. Charcot proposed that hysteria represented a functional, non-organic disease of the cerebral cortex, characterized by heightened suggestibility, which he treated using hypnosis. His student, Joseph Babinski, disagreed, arguing that hysteria was a purely psychological disorder subject to suggestion and cured by persuasion. Pierre Genet argued that hysteria resulted from a dissociation of consciousness, presenting as somnambulism, double personalities, and involuntary convulsions.
I think at this point, I'd see Babinski. Possibly Charcot if Babinski was busy, but I would see Babinski.
Maybe. Let's keep going. We're not even halfway through.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Charcot's work heavily influenced Sigmund Freud, who redefined the condition in the 1890s by introducing conversion hysteria. Freud proposed that hysterical symptoms were physical conversions of repressed psychological trauma, particularly childhood experiences, sexual abuse, and erotic suppression.
He's something else too. He needs his own episode.
But it kind of makes sense. It makes sense more than you need to get laid and your uterus is moving in your body.
Maybe. But coming from Sigmund Freud, it's doesn't feel right. Once you know more of his stuff, then you might agree. Anyway.
During World War I, psychiatrists observed identical somatic symptoms: trembling, paralysis, nightmares, and apathy among male combat soldiers. These symptoms were classified as war neurosis or shell shock, establishing that extreme stress could trigger hysterical physical conversions in men, entirely independent of gender or female biology.
Sounds like PTSD due to war.
Yeah.
While hysteria was studied as an individual pathology for millennia, its translation into a collective phenomenon occurred in the 19th century. The general term mass hysteria emerged in English medical and popular literature around the year 1839. This emergence was influenced by the French medical translation of the Hippocratic Corpus by Émile Litre, whose gynecological volumes appeared between 1851 and 1853. The concept of collective or, quote, epidemic hysteria was popularized in 1844 by the English translation of Justus Friedrich Hecker's The Epidemics of the Middle Ages, translated by Benjamin Guy Babington. who appended personal notes describing historical mass convent behaviors as epidemic hysteria.
The term resurfaced in 1911 in a paper written by Max Fisher, a psychiatric director of the Weisloch Asylum, who argued for extramural psychiatry to address collective mass and hysteria, brought to a head by the socio-political pressures of pre-World War I Germany. The scientific study of the phenomenon was formalized in 1974 when Francois
Soroy, I think.
Soroy published an epidemiological survey of 78 historical outbreaks that occurred between 1872 and 1972, establishing the term epidemic hysteria in modern psychiatric research.
By the late 20th century, researchers like Robert Bartholomew and Simon Wesley introduced the terms, quote, mass sociogenic illness, MSI, and mass psychogenic illness, MPI, to bypass the gendered, highly stigmatizing clinical history of the word hysteria. The Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, DSM-1, I think, yeah, DSM-1, published in 1952, did not list hysteria, but it reappeared in DSM-2 in 1968. The American Psychiatric Association dropped the overarching category of hysteria in the DSM-3, 1980, distributing its symptoms across somatoform, conversion, and histrionic personality disorders. The DSM-4 TR did not contain a standalone definition for mass psychogenic illness, but it historically linked the concept of epidemic hysteria to conversion disorder, describing it as shared physical symptoms developing in a circumscribed group of people following exposure to a common precipitant.
The Strasbourg dancing plague of 1518 is one of the most thoroughly documented cases of mass motor hysteria in recorded history. The outbreak occurred within the Holy Roman Empire, present-day Strasbourg, France, between July and September 1518, and is estimated to have affected between 50 and 400 individuals. The region was undergoing a period of severe environmental and socio-political distress. Strasbourg was plagued by crop failures, regional famines, and price inflation. Concurrently, devastating epidemics of smallpox, leprosy, and syphilis ravaged the population. These crises occurred within a deeply superstitious culture dominated by a wealthy, demanding
Ecclesiastical
class. Local folklore maintained that Saint Vitus, the patron saint of dancers and epileptics, would punish unrepentant sinners by inflicting a curse that forced them to dance uncontrollably.
The patron saint of dancers and epileptics. Okay. Somebody's got to do it, I guess.
Pretty specific.
The epidemic began in mid-July 1518 when a lone woman, Frau Trophea, stepped outside her half-timbered home on a narrow cobbled street and began to dance fervently and uncontrollably. Some contemporary chronicles also implicate her daughter, Fraulein Emma Goetz, in the initial fits. Frau Trophea possessed no musical accompaniment, yet she danced for hours, ignoring her husband's pleas to stop until she collapsed in a twitching heap of exhaustion. After resting, she resumed her compulsive movements, continuing for several days until her feet blistered and bled heavily into her shoes.
Within a week, the visual contagion had spread, affecting more than 30 individuals, including hawkers, porters, beggars, pilgrims, priests, and nuns. The physical presentation of the, quote, choreomaniacs was severe and distressing.
You want to take all those, or you want me to jump in?
My God. Sufferers exhibited violent spasmodic convulsions and continuous rhythmic thrashing of the arms. The rioters were described as glassy, vacant, and expressionless, indicating an altered state of consciousness akin to a trance. Sweat drenched their tattered clothing as they continued to spin and hop, oblivious to intense pain and dehydration.
Alarmed by the growing number of dancers, Strasbourg's civic and religious authorities sought counsel from local physicians. Rejecting supernatural causes, the doctors diagnosed the condition as, quote, hot blood, a humoral imbalance caused by an excess of heat in the circulatory system. The prescribed medical solution was highly counterproductive. The authorities decided that the dancers could only be cured by dancing continuously until they worked the heat out of their bodies. Yeah, makes sense, doesn't it? To facilitate this, the city council cleared guild halls, constructed wooden stages in the public markets, and hired professional musicians to play pipes, horns, and drums, and paid strongmen to hold up the collapsing dancers so they could continue moving. Yeah. I don't think that was the best treatment.
If they were hot, cool them down. Don't just let them dance.
Bucket Brigade. Send them to the river.
Yeah. Just
cool them off. Yeah, don't let them.
River.
Yeah. Baptize them. That'll stop them.
Baptize them all.
Maybe.
Just douse them in holy water. That'll cool them off.
And if it starts to steam, demons.
Yeah. Then you got that problem out of the way.
Set fire to a lot of them.
Yeah. If they're hot, warm them up. Even more.
Well, that's what they were trying to do. It was the wrong treatment.
Yeah. The institutional validation acted as a major accelerant, drawing more spectators into the psychological feedback loop. By August, the dancing mania consumed as many as 400 individuals.
It's been a month. It started in July. This is August now. It's been weeks.
Just
at the least.
Weeks. Just a few weeks. 400 people.
Yeah. Keep going.
That's like our town.
No, it's like the population of the two schools put together.
Yeah.
Oh, a yawning fit. I see.
I'm not hysterical, I promise.
Uterus problems?
No, my uterus is where it is meant to be.
Have you checked recently?
Do we need an x-ray?
Hold your nose and cough. Did you feel the uterus in your throat?
No. I know where my uterus is, and it's down here. Not up here. At its peak, the physical toll was high. Contemporary chronicles claim that up to 15 people died per day from heat stroke, dehydration, exhaustion, strokes, and heart attacks. Realizing their policy had exacerbated the disaster, the city council enacted a complete reversal.
Oh.
They banned public music and dancing, shut down the temporary stages, and ordered the afflicted to be placed in wagons and transported 30 miles away to the mountain shrine of St. Vitus in Savarin.
How did they get these people into wagons? Did they just was there a ramp situation?
They're just laying down.
Oh, they're just laying down? No, they're horizontal dancing?
They're like June McConaughey, Joe while laying down.
Hey, Macarena.
And they turn to their side.
That's all they could do if they were laying down. Were they standing up in a wagon? Okay, let's think about that one. They hauled them up in the wagon. They danced them into the wagon.
Oh, how would they get up the mountain without them?
Right? Are they just bebopping in the wagon? Standing up? I mean, a horse is only 1 horsepower, or it's like 1.5 horsepower or something or whatever. That's weird. How did 1 horsepower become? How is 1 horse 1.5 horsepower?
Inflation.
Something like that.
Some sort of weird.
At the shrine, the dancers were given red shoes, had holy water sprinkled upon them, and were guided through prayer rituals designed to seek forgiveness from the saint. This intervention directly targeted the core religious anxiety driving the trance state. By early September of 1518, 2 months, or close to 8 weeks, something like that, the dancers began to recover, and the epidemic subsided. While some 20th century investigators hypothesized that the plague was caused by ergotism, convulsions, and hallucinations induced by eating rye flour contaminated with ergot fungus, Claviceps purpurea, this theory is medically improbable. I always thought it was this. I always thought it was the ergotism. Ergot poisoning cuts off blood circulation to the limbs, making it physically impossible for individuals to dance for days at a time. And it would not cause hundreds of people to exhibit identical rhythmic psychomotor movements. John Waller's thesis of stress-induced dissociative trance state remains the most scientifically robust explanation for the Strasbourg epidemic. We're getting there.
On January 30th, 1962, this is not that long ago.
In the grand scheme of things, no, not that long ago. 60 years ago.
Yeah. So, younger than my grandmother.
Yes, actually. All your grandparents.
Yeah.
My mom is the youngest of the grandparents that you have left. She was born in 1955.
On January 30th, 1962, a highly localized outbreak of mass murder hysteria erupted in the newly independent nation of Tanganyika.
I like it. Tanganyika. Present day.
Present-day Tanzania, near the village of Kashasha, on the western coast of Lake Victoria. The episode began at the Kashasha Mission School, a private boarding school for girls aged 12 to 18 run by Christian missionaries. The school was characterized by rigid discipline, strict academic expectations, and a structured environment that separated the young girls from their families. On a typical school day, three students suddenly began to laugh uncontrollably. This behavior was not a response to a joke or humorous stimulus, but an involuntary, distressing physical convulsion. The teaching staff attempted to restore order, but the girls were physically unable to stop laughing.
Within days, the behavior spread through direct visual and auditory contact to classmates. Out of the school's 159 pupils, 95 girls, representing around 60% of the student body, became incapacitated by uncontrollable laughing fits. The physical symptoms of the Tanganyika epidemic were painful and severe. Uncontrollable, relentless bouts of laughing and crying that lasted for several hours to as long as 16 days, with an average duration of approximately 7 days. Physical exhaustion and severe abdominal and chest pain caused by the continuous, violent contraction of the respiratory muscles. Shortness of breath, hyperventilation, fainting spells, and general psychomotor restlessness, including screaming and random flailing movements of the limbs. Temporary skin rashes, which developed alongside high levels of autonomic nervous system arousal. Random, unpredictable recurrence. Symptoms would temporarily stop for several hours, providing a false sense of recovery before starting again without any external trigger.
I bet their diaphragms were sore.
In a lot of pain, yep.
Like soreness.
Soreness, sore diaphragm.
It's all the same.
He
Uranus.
He lives in New Zealand. Sore diaphragm does. It's close to Tanzania.
Isn't Tanzania in Africa?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Is it?
East Africa.
East Africa.
New Zealand is in
Close to Australia.
Australia.
Maybe I don't know what I was thinking. Kenya, believe it.
You're possibly thinking of Indonesia.
Well, I said Lake Victoria. I don't know. I was thinking Lake Victoria was in Australia.
Victoria's Secret?
It's the worst game of telephone ever. Come on.
Unable to conduct classes or manage the spreading chaos, the school administration officially closed the facility on March 18, 1962, and sent the students back to their respective villages. This administrative decision, designed to quarantine the illness, served to spread the contagion. Just all backfires. When the 95 affected students returned home, they acted as vectors. Vector. Oh, yeah. The symptoms spread along established social networks and family ties, affecting parents, siblings, and neighbors. By April and May 1962, the epidemic had reached the village of Nshamba, located 55 miles west of Bukoba, where 217 young villagers experienced laughing attacks over a 34-day period.
You just laugh for 34 days.
I can't even laugh for one full day.
No, that's a month. A month of giggling.
Like over a month of giggling.
I couldn't stand that. That's crazy.
I think I'd die before then.
You almost did.
I'd probably die after a week.
In June, the contagion reached the Ramashini Girls Middle School, affecting 48 girls and subsequently spreading to the village of Kanyanjereka. We're really messing these names up. When the Kishasha school attempted to reopen on May 21st, 1962, a second wave immediately affected an additional 57 pupils, forcing a second closure in June. By the time the epidemic naturally subsided, 18 months after its onset, a total of 14 schools had been forced to close, and approximately 1,000 individuals had been affected within a 100-mile radius of Bukoba. Can you imagine the school shutting down because everybody's laughing?
Nope, we gotta go on lockdown. Everybody out. Go home. I can't stop laughing. The Tanganyika laughter epidemic was thoroughly documented and analyzed in 1963 by local medical officers A.M. Rankin. Wow, so we're ranking the morning hours.
Yep.
And P.J. Phillip. So he likes PJs.
Pressure janitor.
What?
Body change?
This is a really bad game of telephone. P.J. Phillip in the Central African Journal of Medicine. Rankin and Phillip conducted exhaustive medical and toxicological analyses, ruling out viral pathogens, bacterial infections, environmental contaminants, and food poisoning. No organic cause was ever identified, confirming that the outbreak was entirely psychogenic. Sociologists and psychiatrists, including Robert Bartholomew, Simon Wesley, and Christian Hempelman, have identified several structural stressors that prime this population for collective conversion disorder. First, Tanganyika had successfully won its independence from Great Britain in December 1961, only weeks before the outbreak began. This major political transition created intense anxiety regarding the future of the nation, which trickled down to families and schools. Second, the students at the Kashasha school reported experiencing immense psychological pressure from both teachers and parents in the post-colonial era. Academic success was framed as a high-stakes competitive requirement for personal and national advancement.
So they were laughing because they were under so much stress because now they were an independent country. What? Third, the adolescent girls were caught in a cultural conflict, living away from home in highly disciplined, isolated missionary environments that imposed Western Christian standards on traditional African values. Oh, there's that Christian thing again.
Christians and their spreading.
In their nunneries. As individuals occupying a very low social status with no direct avenue to express stress, dissent, or anxiety, the girls utilized mass psychogenic illness as an unconscious mechanism to express physical distress, ultimately forcing the closing of the schools and temporary escape from their high pressure environments.
I'm going to start one of those in my school.
Tomorrow is the last day of school for the summer.
That's true.
You could do it. And then it'll be like, it's 1 o'clock. Get out. Get out.
I'm done with you. I'm done with you people.
Go laugh at home.
Go home. I don't want you here anymore. Top 5 mass hysterias in history. The Strasbourg dancing plague of 1518.
We talked about that.
The Salem witch trials of 1692.
We actually talked about that.
The Mad Gasser of Mattoon.
That'll be fun.
That sounds like a Batman villain.
The Mad Gasser of Mattoon of 1944. Yeah, it sounds like a weird Batman villain, but
it's like it's weird.
It's funny.
It's some sort of the Riddler and Joker type of name.
And the whole story is hilarious. We will definitely be talking about that one sometime.
Did he have laughing gas?
Yes.
Wait, seriously? The Tanganyika laughter epidemic of 1962 and the Pokemon panic of 1997.
It's so close to your lifetime.
That's that's the late 90s.
Yeah.
That's Gen Z time.
Yeah.
When Gen Z was born.
Mm-hmm. There's a real quick teaser on that one. We'll do that one too, but it was because of a certain episode of the Pokemon cartoon. It was flashing lights because the Pokemon was going crazy in a city. It was a giant Pokemon with flashing lights, and it sent kids into epileptic seizures.
Yeah, you should have a warning on that.
Well, now they do.
I wonder why.
That's why we got all kinds of warning labels. But some people think we should start taking warning labels off stuff and just let Darwin sort them out.
See, no, I think we'd rather not, because seizures do stuff to your brain. It's not just
But do we really need everybody on the planet? Do we need 8 billion people and counting? Take the warning labels off. See what happens. It's a horrible idea. Or is it?
There's pros and cons to this.
Having less people?
Yes.
We're not getting into it right now.
Yeah, not right now. We don't have no time.
A rigorous socio-epidemiological evaluation of mass psychogenic illness reveals that the phenomenon is not a product of organic or biological fragility, but rather a somatization of structural distress. Throughout history, the high representation of women and adolescents in MPI cohorts has been weaponized to assert biological or emotional instability. As seen in the classical, quote, wandering womb theories or the gender dismissal of female hysteria. However, modern sociological research demonstrates that vulnerability to MPI is highly correlated with institutional powerlessness. Cohesive, isolated groups occupying low status positions within highly monitored, rigid, or hierarchical environments, such as historical convents, Puritan villages, colonial missionary schools, or factory production lines, face high values of psychological strain with minimal structural agency to address it.
For example, the June bug outbreak of June 1962 at a dressmaking factory in the southern United States occurred during a peak month in factory production. A total of 62 workers, 59 of whom were women, experienced severe nausea and skin rashes, believing they had been bitten by bugs nested in fabric shipment. An investigation by Kirchhoff revealed that those affected were more likely to frequently work overtime and provide the majority of their family's income, while tending to deny their personal difficulties. No bugs were ever found, illustrating how extreme overtime strain and social contagion among a cohesive group of female workers under pressure can trigger mass psychogenic responses. When when direct verbal or political expression of stress is blocked, the human body converts this psychological tension into involuntary physical fits, relying on prevailing cultural scripts to construct the somatic expression.
In the modern era, the evolution of mass psychogenic illness has entered a new phase with the rise of the digital era, marked by the transition from physical, quote, line of sight contagion to mass social media induced illness. Historically, the transmission of MPI required a highly cohesive, physically localized group, as the subconscious mimicry of conversion symptoms was dependent on direct face to face visual and auditory cues. However, the proliferation of global video sharing platforms like YouTube and TikTok has created virtual social networks that bypass geographical limits. Modern cases such as, quote, TikTok ticks demonstrate that highly visible influencers exhibiting involuntary physical movements or vocalizations can act as digital vectors. Susceptible, hyper connected adolescents consume these videos and their bodies unconsciously integrate these complex motor symptoms, creating a global, despecialized outbreak that spreads throughout virtual loops. Fascinating.
6, 7.
Lead by example, I guess.
Yeah.
That's one of them. TikTok tick.
What's another?
All of the brain rot stuff.
Tung Sahur.
Yep, that's the one.
Triple T. R.I.P. He died. I think he was hit by a car. Something. I don't know. Triple T's dead.
Okay. I don't know what any of that means. You just said some words that were potentially English.
Tung Sahur.
None of those are English.
No, it's AI, Italian AI. Scimpanzini bananini. Wow.
Glad we have examples of this mess. Go ahead.
Scimpanzini bananini.
No, not that.
Tralala.
Mm.
To mitigate the social, operational, and economic impacts of mass psychogenic illness, public health agencies and clinical teams must employ specific management strategies once the possibility of a biological or chemical pathogen has been ruled out. Should probably
tag team.
these.
Yep.
Prompt and unobtrusive environmental testing. To address the immediate panic, medical and environmental teams must conduct rigorous testing to rule out organic pathogens or toxins. This testing must be performed calmly and efficiently, avoiding visible drama or invasive procedures that validate the group's fear of a severe physical threat.
Is the tongue Sahur in the room with you now?
No, Triple T's dead.
Immediate physical separation. The defining step to halt transmission is the separation of affected individuals. Since the illness spreads via visual and auditory mimicry, isolating these exhibiting symptoms from the larger group interrupts the social feedback loop and stops the exponential spread of the contagion. So, take those phones away from those kids.
It's that dang phone. Mom, my stomach hurts. It's that dang phone. Avoidance of diagnostic validation. Healthcare professionals must avoid validating the false threat or attributing the symptoms to a real chemical or biological cause. Providing names that sound like organic illnesses can solidify the collective delusion and prolong the outbreak.
Calm, non-judgmental reassurance. Providers should explain that the symptoms are clinically genuine and painful, but are a physical conversion of emotional stress rather than a result of an organic poison or pathogen. Showing that the tests are completely normal helps de-escalate anxiety, facilitating a rapid recovery.
Media de-escalation and disruption of publicity. Since dramatic news reporting and sensationalized coverage act as key drivers of secondary outbreaks, authorities should coordinate with media outlets to minimize the sensationalist headlines and prevent the broadcasting of video clips showing individuals experiencing active fits.
So news broadcasters should not talk about 6-7 on the news.
Or John Pork. Or Juan Pork. Or John Pork. Or DeQuavius.
Is DeQuavius in the room with you right now?
No.
Well, there we go. We've addressed multiple hysterias. We have more to come, but we're not going to do another mass hysteria. In the next episode, we'll do something else.
John Juan Chong and DeQuavius Pork.
Those are the names of that old lady's dogs.
No, that's Lita
no.
Beta Bota Butt, Admiral J Greenball, Tippy Dopey Dopey Dub, and Emmy Nammy Nom.
Oh no.
Let me look up pictures of
Jiminy?
John Pork.
I know we're at the end of the episode. How about we don't need those in this episode? Why don't we just end it?
No,
we need to end it before it becomes a mass hysteria. I'm clipping the last 5 minutes of the episode, and it's gonna be part of the clips for the episode. I don't know. You need to send me how to hashtag this. That's not
John Pork. Juan Pork. Oh wait, no, that's John Pork.
The squonk has evolved.
John Pork.
The squonk has evolved.
Juan Pork.
Oh no. Before the mass hysteria spreads. Come on, we gotta end it. Question brought.
Answer.